Folks, welcome back to the show. I'm Craig Shelton. This is the Cut. Actually, this would be the final segment of this week's episode of the Cut. So let's jump right back in. Got a lot I want to cover, and I don't want to waste a lot of time. You can follow the website, follow the blog. We are the HMW Creeps, is what they like to call us. Just recently, we went over 1 million hits. We launched this blog back in 2010, and they said no one would read it, but somebody's reading the dang blog, man. We're over 1 million hits. Go check us out. That's HoustonMediaWatch.com, and you can get at us on Facebook and Twitter. We've been posting the names, the Twitter and Facebook handles for the entire panel tonight, all doing the show. So we love to hear from you on the social networks. And I'm going to go to Twitter right now because one of our bloggers with HoustonMediaWatch.com sent this tweet to you, John, and myself,
Okay.
and I didn't see it till late. This comes from @SportsMediaLM, which is Lamont Mann, one of the founding members of HMW. And he's asking, can DeAndre Hopkins, Andre Johnson, and obviously once he's healthy, DeVere Posey be on the field at the same time? I'll let you comment.
Could they be on the field at the same time? Well, that's a great question. I think as a coach, you can do anything you want. I mean, I think you can do anything you want. Now, Gary Kubiak has to figure out how to do it. But he's put big receivers on the field. He would put Walter and Johnson and Jacoby on the field at the same time. He's done that before. So I don't see any reason why you couldn't, other than, well, how do you use DeVere? Does he go in the slot? Do you move DeAndre in the slot? The fact of the matter is, you put one of those guys in the slot, somebody's got a mismatch. And DeAndre is probably better from the slot in that scenario. But I think what it means is Keyshawn Martin has got basically 6 to 8 weeks to make sure that he becomes the slot receiver, that guy, so that that decision is very hard for Gary Kubiak down the road. I think you could do it. I mean, I know I could sit with napkin, pen, and paper, and I could figure it out. It's a matter of whether Gary Kubiak could figure it out and make it work.
Yeah, you go to 3 wide sets. If you think of it in terms of 3 wide and 4 wide, and obviously losing a tight end in the 4 wide set, but in 3 wide set, I take what you say. Most people would probably think that you would want to keep DeAndre on the outside. I'm glad you made that point that you would put him inside, because one thing about Nuke, with those hands, having to catch seam routes, unless they stretch the field with him across the middle of the field. But he has enough of a physical presence and catches the ball so well. I think he would do okay in the slot at various times, whereas Posey is really a bigger guy. Posey is much bigger than people think he is. He's taller, and he's more of a physical presence than the eye may make him appear to be when you watch him on the field. But Posey can stretch the field better than people give him credit for too. He can get deep on you. You can there are some guys, if you put outside, no matter what you do with them, teams know you ain't gonna beat me over the top with this guy.
Right.
He doesn't do you a lot of good in terms of clearing out anything you're trying to set up underneath. And then, of course, you have the scenario if you go to 4 wides, and we're doing this in layman terms, obviously. When you go to 4 wide outs, Keyshawn Martin really can help you, because you have an even greater opportunity to get him meshed up on linebackers or safeties if they go to dime or nickel dime packages.
Yeah, and just with those 3 guys that you're talking about from the original part of the question, that would be a great set to run in your 1 minute offense.
My question is,
for me,
it's not a question. It's like Gary Kubiak better find some opportunities to put these people on the field at one time.
DeAndre Hopkins, to me, is a young Anquan Bolden. He can play inside. He can play outside. He's very versatile.
Just to have that same body type.
Right. And Anquan wasn't as big when he came into the league. Also come out of Florida State. He was young. He got big as he went along. But I feel that he can be a versatile guy that can play inside and outside with those hands and with that athletic ability. I think he'll be able to do both.
And one of the things about Nuke that I noticed the very first practice that I got a chance to see him, he ran a little slant. They were running one-on-ones. He ran a little slant route on J. Joe, caught the ball, planted his foot, and got upfield. And I thought, man, I have not seen a Texans receiver. I've been back since 2007. I've not seen a Texans receiver that I felt like reliably could be a run after the catch guy and be a viable threat. David Anderson in the slot was great because he could find a way to get open, but David wasn't going to catch it and turn it up and make 10, 15 yards. He was going to get open and catch it. You knew that. But then after that, you weren't going to get much. DeAndre catches the ball in a slant route, and that's why I think in the slot he would be even more valuable because now he gets matched up. He faces up on a linebacker or safety after catching the ball. He makes a miss, and all of a sudden you got 10, 15 yards. But just thinking about what you could do putting DeAndre and Andre on the same side of the field, letting DeVere on the backside work his game, but then putting DeAndre and Andre on the same side and seeing how secondaries are going to roll to that would be interesting too because now you can motion a guy there. You can motion one the other way, how they're going to roll coverage. There are a lot of things you could do with those three, in large part because DeVere could play that perimeter receiver on the other side and get locked up one-on-one, and you're talking about a big guy.
Quarterback has to have more confidence in the guy on the inside than the guy on the outside.
People might, and people might in that scenario of going to three wide set or 4 wide may think on the surface, obviously Andre Johnson is what he is, that Hopkins would be the next most critical guy in regard to how you design plays, pass routes under that scenario, and he may be in some terms, but I would argue really Posey is the key though, because Posey mainly because right now there's not a lot on him, but we have the advantage of seeing him in practice and a little bit more up close. And we know that he probably can do more than the league knows he can do at this point. And at least for one season or X amount of games in one season, you could probably do some things with Posey on the field that teams would not prepare for him in a proper manner that may create some matchup problems that folks might not expect.
Well, one of the people that kind of got lost in this 3-receiver set equation is Owen Daniels. Owen Daniels is a very, very vital piece to that because he can stretch the field at the tight end position, and people have to cover this guy. This guy is a catching machine, so they're gonna have to. You're gonna spread it out with these 3 guys. Mm-hmm. It's gonna open up a lot for whoever that slot guy is, whether it be DeAndre Hopkins, Keyshawn Martin. It's gonna open up because they're gonna roll coverage towards Owen Daniel also.
Yeah, we talked a little bit earlier about the plus. Obvious. This is stating the obvious. But the good thing about getting Brian Cushing back in the mix on the defensive side of football, I think people took it for granted, with the Texans last season coming off such a great year in Wade Phillips' first year with the defense. And then, DeMeco Ryan goes to the Eagles. Then we lose Cushing for the season. And people don't understand. And Jerome, you made a great point. Cushing was the best defensive player on this team at the time he went out. J.J. Watt's revelation was becoming what it was and became what it ended up being, after that. I think it would have happened with Cushing on the field. But Cushing, the things that the Texans are able to do when Cushing's on the field, with him on the field, just changes every dynamic. So here's what my concern is. I get you guys to comment on this. We lost another guy this year in free agency in Glover Quinn, who gave the Texans a lot of flexibility with a guy that they could put in the box, and he even wasn't a big guy, but he had a solid body type on him, and he could stand the punishment inside. Most guys from the safety position doesn't do great in trash. They get caught up in there if somebody gets a body on it. Glover found a way to kind of stay busy and make plays in the box, and then he can match up and play against tight ends. Was an adequate cover guy. Now we got a guy back there with Ed Reed, who's not a guy at this stage in his career. Idealistically speaking, he's never been what you would consider the ideal safety to drop down in the box. He has played there. Ravens are a physical organization. He's done it. But at this stage in his career, you're looking for him to be more of a center fielder and pad his Hall of Fame numbers. I want to get you guys to comment on that a little bit.
Well, I think if you go in your sub package, which is, a lot of times what the Texans ran last year with Glover Quinn, they would move Quinn down in on your sub package. Well, now I think you put DJ Swearinger in there. That's why Ed's health is that important, because Ed can stay in the back and do what he does well. I think DJ drops into the box and plays that guy, and he becomes Glover Quinn. And DJ played a little corner at South Carolina. We know he hits, unlike last night, he hits like a safety should, but he hits like a linebacker too. So I think he fits right in, and that's why they went with DJ Swearinger.
We got about 15 seconds. Real quick, I want to ask you this, Jerome. You see situations where Swearinger and Reed will be on the field together?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, but in their sub package, you'll have Manning, Swayzer, and Reed out there as well.
Well, but I wasn't speaking in terms of the sub packages. I mean, I can see scenarios where those are the two guys I would want to be on the field. Because Swearinger, I believe, is a guy that you can play strong or weak or free. You know
He
what
should
I
be
mean?
one of the better tacklers on the team
Yeah.
immediately. Yeah.
Excluding last night's missed tackle on a bad angle.
He called it a first grade missed tackle. It happens.
Yeah, Pop Warner level. We appreciate all of you guys, man, and we'll definitely be keeping up during football season. It's open invitation on the show. We'll always let you know when and where we tape it. Folks, that's it. We got to get up out of here. Time is short. We will be back next week with more Texans coverage for you right here on The Cut.